Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying your lunch. You had a very thorough morning and you have earned it. Once again, my name is Andrew Work and I am the head content strategist, Asia Pacific for Nextchange, based out of Hong Kong and New York. And I would like to welcome you to the lunch at the World Business Angel Investment Forum World Congress 2018. We have a very, very interesting panel for you here at lunch today. For me, this has been a real introduction to the Visegrad 4. Poland, Hungary, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia have come together in this organization, and we are going to hear from them today. Currently, Hungary holds the presidency of the Visegrad 4, and it is all about the V4 connects. They're connecting on politics, economics, and culture. The connectivity is taking place in transportation and economics, and also pulling together innovation across the region. We'd like to have a session now where we're going to talk about how the Visegrad 4 and how in particular the Hungarian Presidency is shaping innovation and entrepreneurship across this collection of 4 of Europe's most dynamic countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a moderator and a panel to discuss some of these issues and how things are unfolding in the big V4. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to kick off our moderator, Balázs Hendrik, the Consul General of Hungary in Istanbul. Consul General, please join us. Thank you very much. Joining him today is going to be once again on stage Balázs Rákosi, State Secretary for EU Funds, Ministry for National Economy of Hungary, and today the lead delegate for the V4. Mr. Balázs Rákosi, please come and join us. We'd also like to welcome Zsolt Kovács, the CEO of Startup Campus. We are getting the startups in the room. Zsolt Kovács, can you please come and join us on stage? Where are you coming from over the far corner? Thank you very much. While Zsolt is making his way through this jam-packed room, we would like to welcome Timur Topolgoceli, energy economist and entrepreneur, head of Hello Tomorrow Turkey, science and technology startup community. Let's have those startup guys. And our last member of the panel is Istvan Satari, academic researcher and entrepreneur, because it's all about the entrepreneurs. So Istvan, if you can come and join us, there we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking for number 5. We are good to go. Balázs Hendrik, Consul General, I turn the floor over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, your V4 panel. Let's hear it for them.
So, welcome everybody. Andrew, thank you for the conf. Barsberg, thanks for all the organization. We are very happy to be here. My name is Balázs Hendrik, as you heard. I'm the Consul General here in Istanbul. So I'm based here 3 years now, so I consider myself a half local. We have an interesting panel today, so of course during the lunch, and so you will not starving. But please also, let's say, at least with one ear, listen to our conversation. So we have very important and interesting guests here on stage. As you heard, we have government representative, we have in-between incubation platform, we have a Turkish great guy, Timur, who is running a very interesting concept here in Turkey. We have an entrepreneur, a startupper at the far end from Hungary, who is also a researcher and he is lecturer in the Istanbul University. So we have a lot of things here, and what I want to discuss in, let's say, about the 20-25 minutes, so that what shall we do? So we had just a couple of discussion in the coffee break, that we always talk about a lot about the big picture, fostering the ecosystem, startup companies, incubation centers, but what we can really do. So the round question here will be, as I said, government, incubation, startupping Turkey, startupping Hungary, that what shall we do to foster, to really, let's say, get the different stakeholders on the startup ecosystem together. I would start with our Minister of State, Balázs Rákosi, who is the, let's say, the first point of contact of allocating all the European funds coming to Hungary. So he is responsible on one side, let's say, all the grants, and also, let's say, the capital side of funding. So Hungarian government is, I think, quite active on the startup funding level. I want to hear his opinion, and afterwards I want to ask the other panelists as well to briefly tell about Startup Campus, briefly tell about Hello Tomorrow, briefly tell about, let's say, the startup you run, Istvan, and also challenge back and forth that what the Hungarian government should do more in the V4 level, in between Turkey and Hungary, to really, let's say, be more effective as we are today. So thank you again to listening us. Balázs, could you answer this question?
Thank you very much. Welcome you all here in Istanbul on the World Business Angel Investment Forum. We are very proud that as the member of the V4 Cooperation in Central Eastern Europe, together with Poland, Slovak Republic and Czech Republic, Hungary is one of the sponsors of the 2 days investment forum now here in Istanbul. As to the question how governments can intervene and support startup financing and financing in general, I think that in Central Eastern Europe on the finance part is very important that the European cohesion funds can serve as a good basis for supporting business entrepreneurs, small and medium-sized companies, together with the startups. So therefore, for example, Hungary, between the 2014 and 2020 cohesion policy period, spent more than 2 billion euros on investing these kind of enterprises in Hungary. But what is important besides financing is, I think, that the second or the other most important aspect is regulation. So we have to, on the government side, provide a good regulatory framework for the companies, both on the institutional level and on taxation as well. And if these three come together, so the financing, regulation, tax regulation, and institutional regulation, then we can have a good base on which the companies can collaborate.
Hey, welcome everybody. Good appetit. My name is Zsolt Kovács, and I got a question for everybody that you know that boring joke that Hungarians are always hungry. So I think it's exactly true for both of now in the stage. So I think that's this conversation roundtable will be shortly finished, and we are joining you too. So thank you so much, Bybus and WBEAF, to inviting us for today, and we could represent Startup Campus program, and we could represent the V4 startups in this event. I truly believe that East is the new West, and this is exactly true for Asia, South Asia, China, or Turkey, or Central and Eastern Europe. We try to build a system which helps startup to find the perfect market, to find investors globally. Now in Hungary and the CE region, you get everything what you need to start your startup company. Enough money, enough talents, IT professionals, good ideas. But what we need is access to the global market, access to new markets, investors. So this is one of our goals with Startup Campus, to help these startups to find their investors, partners globally. Now, that's why we're here in Turkey, in Istanbul. And we would like to not just push the startups from the region to abroad, we would like to pull foreign startups, for example, Turkish startups, because you know, Budapest is in the European Union. You don't need any other visa. You don't need anything else to come to Budapest, establish or set up your sister company there, and you are in Europe, and the costs are half or more lower than in London or Berlin. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to show our region and, of course, Hungary opportunities, investment opportunities, business opportunities, and, of course, tourism. Because there are a lot of opportunities for partnerships and making good business together with you, with Turkish and global angel investors.
Hi everybody. Bon appetit. I hope that you're enjoying the meal. It sounds like you do. Thank you very much, Balázs, for having us on this panel. Thank you very much, Babas, for this great organization. Thank you to all the other speakers for taking the difficult task of speaking here, and I hope that you can hear us. So my name is Timur Topal Gökçeli. I am the founder of Hello Tomorrow Turkey, which is one of the first international hubs of Hello Tomorrow. In case you haven't heard of it, we do something very special, because we believe that one thing that is truly going to change the world is science-based entrepreneurship. So you've heard of the buzzwords, startups, entrepreneurship, mentoring, investment, etc. But we do this specifically on one very clear vertical, which is deep tech. Deep tech is R&D-based, science-based entrepreneurship. So we propel ideas that come out from the lab to the market via entrepreneurship. In order to do this, we need all sorts of actors. We need scientists, we need entrepreneurs, scientists turned entrepreneurs, and we need you, anybody who can enable, with funding, with public policy, incubators, accelerators, mentors, IP lawyers, investors at various stages. So what we do, we started 5 years ago in Paris, and we have now grown worldwide, from Lima to San Francisco to Japan. We started in Turkey, we're now launching as well in Ghana and also in Hungary. We are building deep tech startup ecosystems around the world, because we believe that this is something that truly will bring change. How do we do this? We have mainly 4 areas of activity. The first is we launched the Hello Tomorrow Global Challenge. It's the world's most important deep tech startup challenge. We receive over 4,000 applications each year from 110 countries, and they are startups that develop technologies like brain implants, electric planes, really things that you may not have heard of. So oftentimes when we ask, do you believe that startups make a change? There's a show of hands. We cannot do this right now, but let me tell you the good news, they already do. Lots of the technologies you used, more and more is being developed not just by large companies, but by startups. So our aim is to take those and make sure that the products they developed see the market in the fastest way possible. The time to market frame is what we aim to shorten. The second we do is we bring this digital community together in a physical way, just like we do here, but we have a very big summit, especially in Paris, the global one. We had speakers such as Michael Bloomberg, Emmanuel Macron, former head of NASA. As you can imagine, the scientist community is very important to have on board. And then we have regional summits. So we just had one here also in December, and we gathered a community from all 4 continents. Why do we do this? Because we believe, especially countries and markets like Turkey, have a high potential to also leapfrog. So if you find the right engineer mind and you make sure that they are funded, they have a good way to present a business model, and they find their angels and VCs and also larger volume investors, then we believe that you can propel them. And so what we offer is we offer a global platform. The third thing that we do is via these global Hello Tomorrow global hubs, we have very professional teams that work with all of the local ecosystem. So if you are a Turkish startup with a high potential, you come and see us, Then you see the local investors and the local policy players, accelerators. We can propel you to your equivalent in America, Asia, or elsewhere. So this works because we live in an age of interconnectedness, right? And so now, having gathered all of this information with the startups, we thought, how can we also create more economic and commercial value? So after the Hello Tomorrow challenge, the physical bringing together, the hubs, we're launching a service that enables large corporates to outsource external innovation, literally technology developing startups. And this is where I will also finish my remarks, just to explain what we're doing. So we also work with all sorts of corporate actors to make sure that the interaction with technology developing startups is happening in the smoothest way possible. Happy to answer any questions, and this is in short what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Tibor. I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you, Barbas, and thank you, Balázs, for inviting me to this panel. I represent the academy, an academical side. I'm Dr. István Csatári. I'm a scientist and just newly become an entrepreneur. And this journey from science to entrepreneurship was extremely painful. It was very painful for me, and it is still painful for a lot of scientists in the lab who are actually developing concepts that with your interest, with your investment, with your corporate experience, can solve real-world problems in the future, because this is what deep tech about. So let me highlight a couple key problems in the academy and a couple solutions that I think, with your help, can be tackled in the future. One of the most important things is the mindset. When researchers start a project, many times they start without entrepreneurial mindset. What does this mean? If you combine science with a mindset that solving problem with profit, then amazing technologies will appear for the future. And I believe that science in the laboratory is too much far from the market and from the corporates. So what I see today is, I suggest a solution to bring corporates, investors, governments, and also the scientists closer to the same page to find out what are the new technologies that are going to solve real-world problems. And I would like to suggest a solution which can be a little bit difficult in the beginning, but probably would be a great run in long term, is not only waiting for scientists to come to you, and not only waiting scientists to come to the incubators. They don't have idea about the business world. They don't know what are the options, what can they do. So instead, I suggest a solution like having deep tech entrepreneurship and science instructors at every single department who are like football managers, scouting for the projects, telling them that what are their options, and actively bringing those talents into the incubators and into the world to the corporates. So I believe that such a profession in the future is essential to find the puzzles. And another thing, just as a final remark, I would like to add, that today we are educating scientists in the laboratories. What's the future of 100 scientists, 100 biologists after that? 3, 4 are going to be an academician and a scientist. 50 are going to be a salesperson at the corporate without any, corporate, experience. So what I suggest that the future diploma works and the future projects are going to build upon small segments from different parts of the university, and such a science instructor and entrepreneur will take part in this process. So just let me give you a very quick example, that when you have a scientist who is developing a great technology, this instructor will find him a student who would like to write a diploma work about business. He will prepare the business plan. He will find a student who is great at marketing. He will write the marketing diploma work about an exact marketing of that product or that project. So at the end of this project, we will have 4 or 5 students with fantastic diploma work and the core of a team for a new deep tech startup. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make a toast. Keep this. Keep this. Okay, so I'm not joking. So of course that we want to share kind of, let's say, valuable ideas with you. This is, of course, I mean, a little bit disturbing when we cannot hear. So I'm sorry to interrupt, let's say, the lunch, but I mean, and of course that we will cut it short, I promise to you. So what I want to ask, let's say, to really, let's say, keep this little silence, let's say, 1 additional minute. We just make a very quick, let's say, round, saying goodbye kind of thing, to really, let's say, have a kind of takeaway message from why we do consider, let's say, value V4 Central Europe, really, let's say, focusing on regional things. Okay, just please, 1 minute of small silence, then of course that we will wrap it up and we get back to the floor to you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your attention. Well, we would like very much in Central Europe working together with Turkish enterprises, startup either as an investor here in Turkey, and of course we are open for Turkish investors in our region. And I hope that we can go on this road together in a collaboration, and year by year we can sum up and find out that our cooperation is deeper, better, and more for our people in our country. So I think cooperation is the key that's my takeaway and wrap up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I already said my quote that it's East is the new West, and that's what we are developing here today. Thank you.
I believe we should learn to really leave silos and to stop etiquetting people. There is no typical entrepreneur, and there's no typical corporate person, and no typical public official. The lines get more and more blurred. Give everybody who has a chance and who has the courage to really innovate a chance to do so. So if you're investing, invest in something, think not just what is your ROI, your return. Think of what will truly make a difference. And what we tell investors, because here we're at an investor conference that are aiming to invest in technology, it is not just to have a simple return, but it is to de-risk the technology. So innovation has no age, no gender, no educational background. It's just the will to really take an idea and make a true difference. This is not just empty words. And so there are platforms around. Hello Tomorrow is one of them. We believe it's one of the most efficient one, but it's not the only one. So make sure that you clearly always identify what it is that you're investing in, what it is that you want to achieve. And science-based entrepreneurship is definitely going to change your lives. The good news is it already does. Thank you very much.
Thank you again for inviting me here. It was my pleasure. My takeaway message is that I believe if we can bring corporates, governments, and investors and scientists closer to the same page, then we can solve real-world problems, and we can make the future much brighter. And it's not about only countries; it's about a global collaboration which we do at Hello Tomorrow. And also, I believe that Turkey and the V4 countries are going to play a major role in this process. And one of the things that I would like to mention as a exact example, that TÜBİTAK and the National Research Development and Innovation Institute of Hungary has already made some calls on science and development. We already, initiated some projects on it. So it's very nice to see that there are, from your side, there are people and there are organizations who are taking serious actions on this case. Thank you.
I see our moderator has a little gift for the speakers. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I thank everybody that was paying attention. I saw many eyes turned up to the room. We were a little noisy, but we got a lot of value out of this presentation on the Visegrad 4. Timur, I'm going to be coming to talk to you about your network around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, very impressive. Great reasons to get connected to the V4+1 Turkey. Thank you very much to Balas Hendrik, the Consul General of Hungary in Istanbul, for moderating our panel with Balas Rakosi, Zsolt Kovacs, Timur Topakokeli, and Istvan Satsari. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for our V4+1 panel. Thank you.